We're going to be in solidarity with the girls, so we're going to start wearing our shoulders proudly bared. Like, why would that be their response? If you're a young boy, you feel called to be in solidarity with the girls, like somehow they should have that right to wear that clothing? There's so much wrong with this. What kind of message does that send? And by the way, if you watch the video, you look at these young boys, young men. I'm going to be careful about how I say this. Let's just say when you look at them, they don't necessarily exemplify masculinity because they've been beat up by culture. They've been brainwashed to think somehow that the highest ideal is to be in solidarity with the girls and equal rights, equality. That's problem number one. Problem number two, the girls think that somehow, well, look, I somehow, they have no right to touch me or anything else at all, so I should be allowed to wear this outfit. First of all, you're not the same as a boy. That's our culture, right? Gender equality. Brainwashing these kids to think boys, girls, well, we're all the same and it's all about equality. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm amazed at our country, right? The battles we fight. I mean, this is really important stuff. Really? Giving a young girl the right to wear outfits that show her shoulders? Whatever happened to you've got a school, and I'm kind of amazed they have a dress code in this day and age, right? But whatever happened to a school having the ability and the right to say, look, this is the dress code and it's going to be enforced. You don't have rights. You go to this school. It's heartbreaking for me to see this story, which is just one story, yes, but it typifies where our culture is in so many ways. That young men have been led to believe that somehow that they're equal to girls, not their uniqueness, not who they are as men. And I think it harkens back to the impact segment. In my view, part of it, and I don't want to blame, getting back to email from Pete, I don't want to necessarily blame the male role models and the father figures and the mentors, but look, let's just go with cold hard statistics. It's clear there's been a disconnect here. And no pun intended, it falls on the shoulders of men. So when I heard the story and I read the story, it just really stuck out as this is where we are. This is where we are as culture. This is kind of the mindset of equality and secularism and rebelling against God's plan, uniquely making us as equals, yes, as men, as women, but different. And yet here's another example of something that doesn't have to stay that way. But it's going to take you, it's going to take me to fall on our knees, ask God for forgiveness, and show us the way. And we can do that. We can stand firm. Speaking of culture and what's going on, in our final segment of our first Thorough Thursday, we're going to talk more about the taking down of monuments and vandalism that seems to be so prominent. We'll talk about that next. Quick weather check is brought to you by, and I'll tell you, it's brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Sunny, a little warmer, highs in the upper 80s, lower 90s. In the warm inland areas, overnight lows in the 60s.